Public speaking. So from HR, you went to public speaking. How are these related? And how come you chose public speaking and not something different?
Yes. So for me, they are very closely related, although for some people they would be none at all. But for me, it has been a very almost natural transition into it. So the way it all started, because a lot of people ask me, how from HR you ended up in public speaking. So as an HR professional, I was being invited to speak at conferences, at seminars on HR related aspects. And it was happening over and over again, and people were coming to me then following the presentation, following the seminar, following the conference, and they would tell me, we really enjoyed your presentation, we enjoyed your talk, but most of all, we enjoyed your style. Do you deliver training on presentations as well? And one person tells you, and the second person tells you, and then now someone else tells you, and I'm like, maybe there's something here, Then I recall, I think it was in 2018, I did an intensive course in NLP, Neuro-Linguistic Programming, and it was a fantastic journey. We really go deep with that kind of program. And I recall that when we were doing exercises and we were asked to imagine ourselves in a position of confidence and what we want to be doing, constantly I was seeing myself speaking to people, speaking to crowds of people over and over and over and over again. So it's like then these two things came together and I say, oh gosh, this is what I enjoy doing. People tell me that they seem to enjoy my style. Why not blend them together? And that's how public speaking came along. Also, as an HR professional, I was noticing that people who have a deficiency of communication skills find it very harder to either go up the scale or else to make an impact if they are up there. So let me give you an example. So you could have a highly technically competent manager in a particular field. Technically, they're fantastic, but if they are suffering either with managing people, and most of the time it's because they are not communicating well with their people, so then we have a communication deficiency. In my HR area, I would have circumstances where I would have a candidate in front of me, and on paper they look good, perhaps in terms of credentials, criteria, he or she ticks all the boxes, but then they can't sell themselves. And I need them to be able to speak with other people. I need them to speak with clients or guests, right? It's a problem. I would be at a seminar or would be during a training session, and I noticed people holding back from speaking up. Or, even worse, they would come to me and tell me, listen, will you say this on my behalf? Because you know how to put it together, but so say it. And I'm like, no, that's not right. Because that would make it look, it's my idea, and that's not fair on you, right? If it's your idea, go ahead, say it, speak it out loud.
So people would rather give their idea to someone else rather than face their
for fear that it's not good enough, for fear they're not going to be able to put it together in a good way.
Is it the idea not good enough, or is it them who don't feel that they are not good enough?
It could be that they think the idea is not good enough, but also it could be that they don't know how to put it together well.
So you could pitch it better.
Yes. So what started happening was like, what a pity. There are people there who actually are very capable, right? But because of this shortcoming in communication, are holding themselves back, are keeping themselves less visible. And so this ended up for me giving my attention to communication skills, right? And very specifically on public speaking and how one shows up.
This is remind me of a saying. You mentioned the scholastic year and children, and for those listeners who are parents as well, they know this very well. All of us do, because we've all been in this situation. This is when you have a very good teacher, a very technical teacher, but they don't know how to teach.
Oh, yes.
So
we've all been there,
We've all been there. So we all know someone they can be very capable within their area of expertise, but they don't know how to deliver that message. And that, I think, that is frustrating, especially if the person is aware that they are very technical, but they are not managing to get the message across. I can understand that can be very frustrating.
Yes, I mean, even us as professionals. So it happened at school, it happened at university. Coincidentally, this morning I was messaging a professor who used to be a lecturer of mine, and he also was my tutor in one of
Okay.
my dissertations. And I couldn't help at that moment as I was texting him to remind myself of the lectures that he used to deliver to us. I can mention him by name because it's something positive. It's Professor Godfrey Baldacchino.
Okay.
He used to make them so live. He used to entertain us with stories. He would bring an element of emotions, right, to the lecture. Versus, unfortunately, a number of other lecturers where it was pure flat, right? No connection whatsoever with us, speaking to themselves. And this happens also on a professional corporate level. So we go to seminars, we go to conferences, and we see people who are highly competent, highly technical. They are really great at what they do, but they can't land the message with the audience, which is a pity. Because the moment you lose the connection with someone, then they're off somewhere else. So, and this is why I say to myself, I want to help these people out, because it's a pity they're missing out, right?